Hi, this is Gerald Salenti. It's Thursday, August 6th, 2020. And here are some of today's trends in the news. On the market front, mixed over there in Asia, down in Europe, up in the USSA, Earl, flat. Gold, bada bing, bada boom, bam, bam, keeps going up. 2063. 2063. And you know, we called it first. The gold bull run, June 6, 2019, when gold was $1,332 an ounce. And look where it is now. And what did we do in middle of June? When silver was trading there around $1,750, we said silver's going to spike faster than gold percentage-wise. And now silver closed today at $28.85. And that Bitcoin, above that 11,000 mark, 11,678. And again, people are looking for alternatives because it's a freak show. It's a digital freak show. Digital money printed on nothing and backed by nothing. And Gregory Mannarino outlines it in our Trends Journal very nicely, as we have been doing over the years. This is unlike anything we've ever seen in the history of the world, part one or part two. And that's why this gold and silver are going to keep going up. That they haven't had a correction, and they're just shooting up. My first buy of gold was back in 1970, I think it was 78, $187.50 an ounce. $187.50 an ounce. That's how long I've been following it. I've never seen anything like this. COVID boosts Fed as global lender. The Wall Street Journal. Big story, write about a lot of it in your next Trends Journal. But I want to just read you a couple of points here. During two critical mid-March weeks, the Fed bought a record $450 billion in treasuries from investors. Isn't that nice lingo, huh? How about gamblers? How about them big hedge funds and them private equity groups? Oh, yeah, they're fine. Investors. Yeah, gamblers. Desperate to raise dollars. By April, the Fed had lent another nearly $500 billion to counterparts overseas. The thing is rigged. Here is the language. It's a criminal act. The Fed is only doing this to artificially boost the markets. Because when the markets crash, then the imbeciles, the morons that believe the bullshit that they keep getting fed every day, the ones that march off to the COVID war, yeah, that group as well. They're keeping the markets up because when the market crashes, everybody's then going to really know how bad it is. As financial markets recovered, dollar borrowing costs outside the United States fell. The Fed's outstanding currency swaps started receding in mid-June and fell further. Again, as financial markets recovered. That's all they're interested in. While the Fed's actions during the financial crisis sparked outrage, seem to be aiding firms that caused the crisis, there have been no concerns raised publicly by U.S. lawmakers or Fed officials about the Fed's global role. You got it? While the Fed's actions during the financial crisis sparked outrage, Outrage at bailing out the gamblers. And as for U.S. lawmakers, what a stupid term. How about a bunch of low-life pieces of garbage crap? Oh, no. I like Nancy Pelosi. Chucky Schumer's my kind of guy. Little Lindsey Graham. No. Mitchie McConnell. What lawmakers? Disgusting human beings that are destroying us. Got it? The Fed had little choice but to intervene. All right? It's right here. A fraud. And speaking of frauds and who they support, Blackstone buys site for $4.7 billion. Blackstone Group said Wednesday it has agreed to buy the genealogy site Ancestry.com. I mention this because that's all that's in play. The bigs get bigger. Hey, we're going to lock down all those non-essential stores, but Walmart could stay open. We're going to steal all your money. We're going to give it to the hedge funds, the private equity groups. You got it? We are nothing more than plantation workers on Slavelandia. Layoffs begin at NBC Universal as pandemic roils entertainment. Not pandemic, not you slimy clowns. The pandemic's not doing it. It's politicians, politics, sucked the life out of us. Many ticks, politics. But look how they write it. And how many are they going to lay off here? Only 10% of the staff. Discovery's profits, revenue fall as pandemic dense ad revenue, not the pandemic. Politicians dent revenue. And again, we've been writing about this. As these companies are going down, they're going to keep going down further and further and further because less and less people are going to advertise. And what do you have here? HSBC profits drop as loans go bad. Profits for the global bank in Asia with Asian roots, it only fell 96%. Dropped 96%. You go. It'll come back. The recovery will come back. AIG posts $7.94 billion loss as pandemic claims mount. Coffee bean prices feel chill of staying home. It's showing how coffee bean prices are going down because people aren't going out to drink this stuff anymore. Disney posts first loss since 2001. $5 billion. $5 billion. You know what they lost in 2001? This is after 9/11. $567 million. Coronavirus squeezes urban office markets. No kidding. We only said this would happen back in February when the fear and hysteria was being sold. Again, it's in your Trends Journal. The facts are there and the forecasts are there where this is going. Hey, how about over there in Las Vegas? Wynn Resorts revenue plunges. Let's see. Wynn Resorts said it lost $523 million in the 3 months ending June 30th versus $219 million in operating income last year. And let's see, the revenue loss of nearly 95%. I wonder why gold and silver are going up. Las Vegas Sands Corp., MGM Resorts International, recently reported revenue dives of 97% and 91% respectively. And over Wynn's Macau resorts, let's see, the company reported 98% drop. They got $3 billion and $3.8 billion in cash, and they have a debt of nearly $13 billion. $3.8 billion in cash, some $13 billion in debt. Parent of Kayak and Priceline cuts jobs, one after another. Other travel-related sites also struggling. TripAdvisor, 900 jobs. Expedia, second quarter profits dropped, or second quarter bookings, gross bookings fell 90%. One after another. Bankrupt menswear chain pivots to casual. This is Tailored Brands. People aren't dressing up anymore, so they're going casual. But the real thing is here, roughly 20% of the corporate staff could lose their jobs, and as many as 500 of the company's 1,400 retail stores in the U.S. and Canada could close. Pandemic decimates small business. No, New York City. Not the pandemic. Scumbags, lowlives, the Cuomos, the de Blasios, they're the ones that have decimated small businesses. Oh, you're allowed to sit outside and eat, but when you stand up, you got to put your mask on, and you can't eat inside. Occupancy rate in businesses, only 10% in Ghost Town, New York. They're looking at, when the pandemic eventually subsides, roughly 1/3 of the city's 240,000 small businesses may never reopen, according to a survey. Nearly 1/3 of 2,800 businesses in New York that have permanently closed were restaurants, according to Yelp. That's already. It's one after another. Emerging markets grid for defaults after Argentinian deal. Argentina made a deal to their bondholders. They're getting 55 cents on the dollar. And this thing is going down all over the place. Turkish lira hits new low. One after another. Is Halloween canceled? Customers, candy makers, theme parks face scary realities. You got it. $8.8 billion, last year in Halloween spending. What, are you going to get dressed up in a mask? And all the places revolving around that. Gone. New York to set up checkpoints, stopping people in, and if you break the law, people caught violating it, $10,000 if you're coming from a number of states and you don't check in and quarantine. Deaths rising at Florida's senior homes. What a surprise. 42% of the people that have died in Florida are from nursing homes. Again, the average is anywhere between 42% and 50% of the people that died of the disease were from nursing homes that were chronically ill before. 7,526 fatalities. So take 42% off that, and what do you got? In a state of 21.5 million people, and you lock it down? Now, that guy DeSantis, he should have locked it down a long time ago, like little Andy Cuomo that all the liberals love. Hey, how many people died in New York? Only about 32,000. Oh, we only have a population of 19 million. Oh, but isn't Cuomo great? How ignorant the people are. Hong Kong. This is how they sell fear and hysteria. Third wave, growing COVID-19 clusters at 2 wet markets spark fears of wider outbreak as city records 80 new cases and 4 deaths. The numbers add up to nothing. 7.5 million people. Same thing. Manila lockdown returns amid surge. 2,100 people have died in the Philippines. I've been to the Philippines. You want to see poverty and filth and pollution, it might be a place you want to go check out. They're dying of a lot of other things over there. So here you got 109 million people, and you got 2,100 people dead. 109 million people, March, April, May, June, July, and you close down the place. In Melbourne, where the coronavirus is raging, despite a lockdown, that's how they sell the fear and hysteria. 255 people have died in Australia. 255 people, March, April, May, June, July. And now they lock down the place, what, to the middle of September. Bolivia cancels its entire school year. 9,859 deaths. 11 million people. Oh, that was Belgium. Bolivia has 11 million people. They only have 3,200 deaths. And they lock down the place. You think people are dying of other stuff in Bolivia? These aren't any numbers to talk about. But fear sells. In Kenya, safety plan is to cancel school year. Kenya, 53 million people, 399 deaths. March, April, May, June, July. Nothing. Chicago's schools will be online only in the fall. MBAs delay in-person classes, places like Wharton and Georgetown University. Okay, two things about this. Number one, go back to my book, Trends 2000. Interactive U, Interactive University. I started talking about this back then, 1996. If you want to invest, this is a place to think about. I don't give investment advice. Think for yourself. And check out what's going on in India. They're leading on the online school. This is just beginning. Trends are born, they grow, they mature, reach old age, and die. This has just been born. The other end of it, you got over here, Chicago, they have 1.1 million students. So how many schools do they have? So you don't need all these first grade, second grade, you don't need all these different teachers. You need one teacher. The kids going online, go online. You got your first grade teachers, second grade, all the way up to high school. So you cut back on your teachers. They're not going to school. Close down the schools. Only open a couple of them for things that you need. And now we're not paying janitors. We're not paying upkeep. We're not paying electricity, heating, cooling. No maintenance. No, you don't need all that staff to serve crummy food. Lower our taxes. I don't need a superintendent of school like the arrogant one we have here in Kingston, making like over $200,000 a year. For what? Lower my taxes. Anyway, Facebook pushed to stop hate speech. A group of Democratic attorney generals jumped into the debate over monitoring content on social media Wednesday, urging Facebook to take additional steps to combat harassment and hate speech. Harassment and hate speech. That guy Gaddafi, he gotta go. I want him out of there. I don't like that guy Assad. I want him out of there. Oh, that was Obama, the Nobel Peace Crap Prize winner. Isn't that hate speech? Hey, how about Trump? I want that guy Maduro out of there. How about that Bush? I want that guy who's saying that. Oh, hey, you Democratic attorney generals, you're Democratic scumbags. How about that hate speech? No, that doesn't count. That's only murder. We love to murder. We love our wars. Hey, screw you, Salenti, with your Occupy peace. We try to close you down. We hate peace because we're pieces of crap. Hate speech. The First Amendment, shove it. We're the attorney generals. This has become a dictatorship. You got it? Foreign powers face off in Libyan war. I'm mentioning this because columns of fighters loyal to Libya's United Nations-backed government, advised by Turkish military officers, are poised west of Surat on the Mediterranean coast, ready for battle. Oh, Turkey. Oh, Turkey with the leader going down the crapper along with their economy? What the hell are you doing over there? Oh, and then Egypt, they're going on the other side. That guy Haftar, former CIA guy. Yeah, they destroyed Libya. But I'm mentioning this because what the hell are you doing, Turkey? Your leader's going in the crapper. What are you doing over there? I'll tell you what you're doing over there. When all else fails, they take us to war. Everywhere you go. And they're going to do the same thing with Egypt. That economy, there's no economy left. Tourism? Oh, yeah. See the pyramids along the Nile. No, not going there. But we'll take you to war. Yeah. Modi pushes nationalism as virus spreads. That's India's Modi. Yep, pushes nationalism. There were riots, demonstrations going on before this. You know how many people died according to this? 38,938. As virus spreads. Hey, that's about equal to New York. What does New York have? 19 million people? What does India have? Anywhere between 1.3 billion to 1.4 billion. But look what they do. And then misery ranking will show U.S. getting worse versus rest of the world. The U.S. is projected to see the worst reversal of fortune this year in a ranking of global economic misery. America fell 25 spots from the number 50 spot to number 25 on Bloomberg's Misery Index. And on Venezuela, Argentina, South Africa, and Turkey held on to their unenviable ranking from 2019 as the world's foremost miserable economies. So there you got it. You can see where this is going. War. When all else fails, they take you to war. This is Gerald Salenti, and that's some of today's trends in the news. The COVID-19 war has changed the world, but who's prepared? What's next? It's in your Trends Journal. Trends Journal subscribers are prepared. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.